Rosie, thank you so much for joining us today. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions and share with us a little bit about what inspires you. What really is at the core of all of the work, beautiful work that you're creating that seems so lyrical and mysterious?
I suppose it's equally as mysterious to me, somewhat. A lot of it would be directly made from places, and then I would, add figures into it. And sometimes there would be a lot of trial and error, and maybe, I would sort of muck around with paint and the figures would kind of emerge out of the marks that I've made. I was actually just walking around the river in Belfast there, and I realised that, when you're away from everything and your mind stops and you're not in the studio, and then I realized that a lot of my work is very instinctive, that there really isn't an awful lot of planning involved in it sometimes, and then sometimes I'll have an idea in my head that has to come out. One thing flows out of the other. A lot of the time I will abandon something, but I won't destroy it. And I have recently, I think I mentioned this in the longer interview before, started reworking old ideas. So I actually picked up on a box full of unfinished works and reworked them, which was quite satisfying, really. So a lot of my ideas are based on stories, but they're completely fantastical. A lot of the figurative stuff is really sort of from some sort of plane of ideas that float around in my head. A lot of the imagery would be from familiar things and places. A lot of the scenes, the sort of more pastoral scenes, would be based in Connemara, and they would be informed by a lot of plein air painting as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like your work really speaks to the heart, and there's such a poetic sense about it all. What advice would you have for young aspiring artists today, especially in light of all the changes we're experiencing in the world?
I would just advise anyone who, if this is what you want to do, to completely stick with it and be very clear with your own path. But obviously that's all very well said that if you're not earning any money. I do think where younger artists are better placed than what I was when I left art college. When I left art college, it cost loads and loads of money to actually even have postcards printed of your work to distribute to people with your details. We didn't have websites. You had to take copies of your work with slides, which had to be sent to England and then sent back to you. So where young artists have a huge advantage is that they're all very aware of the web and how, it's a completely different platform from what we had. So they can create their own shop and their own thing. And also younger people now don't have the expectation of doing the one job forever. Mm-hmm. So people are doing different things, multitasking. My advice to any young artist is to just stick with what you're doing. If drawing and painting is what you do, then practice, practice, practice. Whatever it is that you do, practice, but always be informed by, go with your instinct, go with your heart, and just stick with it.
Well, thank you, Rosie, for those great words, and I'm sure that they'll be helpful to lots of people who have the opportunity to see this. So thank you.